In this tutorial we'll have a look at how you can add in new users or new employees so that they too can access the Rhino app. So to do this we click on the Rhino menu, then we click on the system settings, and finally we click on the users menu option. This screen will display a list of the active users that can currently access Rhino. So to add in a new user, we just click on the add and we enter in the user's name. So Roger Smith. Then we type in their email address. So this is going to be roger.smith@smith.com. Then we have to select the user type. So just a couple of words on the user type. The user type dictates the level of access that each user has to the system. So rather than setting up permissions for each individual user, we define a list of user types. There's normally two user types, so full access. That's typically the system owner or the administrator that would give you access to everything. And then we would have an employee user access. This would be a more restrictive view of the system because you may wish to restrict access to financial information or the ability to administer the system, like adding new users to the system. In this example, we'll just select full access. The next thing we have to consider is the cost codes. So the cost codes are linked to the cost of employees or the cost of employing people. If you're not interested in setting this up, then you can just ignore this and just move on to the next field. But just a little word on this. If you are using this to run projects or if you want to feed a payroll system, then you can define a cost code for each individual. And then when you record time, you can set up individual cost rates for different types of time. As I said, once again, there's a separate tutorial explaining all of this functionality. Finally, we have the maximum hours per day. Normally this is set at 24. You can change this because in some cases you may wish to give access to a subcontractor where they would log, for example, the total hours for a team of people. So instead of recording the individual hours for each person, you could just ask the subcontractor to input all of their hours so that you can get the true cost of a project. So you may wish to alter this value. So finally, when you click on save, the system will send an email to Roger Smith at smith.com, and it will contain instructions on how to log into Rhino. It'll also contain instructions on how to download the Rhino app from the various app stores. So if we just click on cancel, the final thing to mention here is that inevitably you'll have employees that may leave your organization. So if you click on an employee and if you deactivate the employee, then this will retain all of the historical information that they will have entered over the years, but it will free up a license. So a key point is that the number of licenses you require is linked to the number of active employees that you currently have using the system. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and look forward to seeing you on the next one.